Hey, Tua, how's it going? Thanks for taking the time to do this. How have things been? How have you felt physically, and what's it been like out there practicing?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. It's definitely a different learning curve than what I'm used to at Alabama. There's not as much time that we get on the field, whereas we spend a lot of more of our time watching film than really anything else. Not to say we don't get a lot of work out there, but it's more, in your meeting rooms watching film.
Tua, what has been your impression of Chan Gailey's offense? And I guess what's the timetable do you think it is for a young player like yourself to learn it?
Yeah, I think to answer that question, no matter what offense you're stepping into, it's always going to be a process of learning. And I think that's where I'm at. I'm still in the process of getting to understand Chan's offense. Now, from a perspective of, personality with who Chan is and whatnot, I mean, Chan's phenomenal, really great guy, down to earth. When it's time to work, he's out there, we go to work, but it's a very friendly environment with him and the other quarterbacks as well. So, yeah.
We're gonna go to Hal.
Hi, Tua. Nice jersey. I wanted to ask you about Dan Marino. Anything you can share about the time that you may have worked with Dan, some of the advice maybe he's given you, and if there was any kind of awe factor at first, or whether it was just two quarterbacks talking football?
Yeah, well, the first time I met Dan, I think Dan reached out to me after I got drafted, which was super awesome. That was cool. But the first day I got into the building, Chan was in our meeting, Dan was in our meeting, and got to talk to Dan. I mean, he's also a really down-to-earth guy. I mean, he's someone that you can just chat with. For someone who pretty much is the, talk of the town with Dan, he's super humble. He doesn't hold his head high or walk around here like he's the man, which he is, but I mean, he's super humble.
Hey, Tua, what's up, man? I know you just mentioned Dan, and obviously Miami's a profile city. He's been the man here for a while. A lot of people are expecting you to be the next man here. How do you sort of look at that pressure, and are you ready for maybe all the expectations people are going to put on you?
Yeah, well, I think for me, my focus right now is just trying to get into the playbook, literally trying to understand what we're doing offensively, and really just trying to build relationships with the guys on the team. I definitely believe that, Coach Flo, Chan, Robbie, all those guys that are going to be making their decisions, they're going to put the team in the best position they think is possible. So if that's me supporting someone or not, that's what it's going to be.
Hey, Tua, what's good, man? I'm liking the jersey.
Hey, thanks. I didn't know if you guys could actually see it, but all right.
Hey, man, I wanted to ask you, a lot of people know about your faith and your toughness and how battle-tested you are. But in regards to your culture and where you come from with, being Samoan and obviously coming from Hawaii, how do you think that's helped shaped you and who you are? And, there's some proud, former Samoans, Hawaiians who played in the NFL, and, for you to, maybe join that line.
Yeah, I think football definitely intertwines with the Samoan culture that I come from with my background, because in our culture, respect is the biggest thing. And in football, respect is almost demanded, from the head coach, from your OC. So it's one of those things where you grow up not knowing, how to talk back to an elder when they, talk to you about doing something. And you learn how to take advice. You learn how to eat, eat getting chewed. When you get chewed out, you learn how to eat it, is what I'm trying to say. And So I definitely think it's helped shape me to the person that I am as well. In that regards, with being respectful and whatnot. But yeah, that's what I could say.
Hey, Tua, what's going on, man? Obviously, you're wearing the Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey. We spoke to him about a week ago, and he talked about the growing relationship between the two of you and how he's trying to mentor you and bring you and the other quarterbacks along. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your relationship. Seems like things are going well if you're already sporting his jersey.
Yeah, 100%. I thought I could break ice making you guys laugh, wearing a Fitz jersey, because I mean, Fitz, he's he's very personable as well. But kind of to start it off with Fitz, I mean, very, very down to earth person, very humble. I've got to meet his family like about 2 days ago, and it was pretty funny because everyone, while we were on FaceTime, everyone's just scattered around the house. And so he introduces me to his kids. And then he introduces me to his wife, and, he's like, yeah, this is it. This is everyone. And this is my family. And then, lo and behold, he forgets two of them. And so it's like, man, this man really has a family. He's really been in the league for so long. And to be behind like a professional like that, to me, it's kind of mind-boggling how down to earth he is. It's one of those things where it's this guy gets it. I don't know what it is, but he gets it. And that saying goes true. It says, if you want to get somewhere fast, you go alone. But if you want to do it with purpose, you bring people with you. And I think Fitz has done a tremendous job in trying to help shape and mold me, and Josh as well. So it's been really cool to go through that process with him.
To a nice jersey. I've got a two-parter for you about your transition down to Miami. First question, real simple. Do you wear a mask when you're out in public these days?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm not out ever, so I just stay home or go to the team hotel. But in those instances where I do have to be out in public, going to the hotel and whatnot, I do wear a mask. So I have my mask right here.
Hey, Tua, obviously we don't know yet when your NFL debut will happen. But are you hoping to be tackled before that game, whenever it is? And are you feeling are you totally over the pain and discomfort deal with the hip? Yeah,
well, I think to answer that question, honestly, you just never know until it actually happens. I won't know the feeling until I actually do get tackled. So it's almost like that trial and error kind of thing. You got to go out and do it in order to know if it does hurt or it doesn't. That's pretty much what I can say. But as far as how I feel right now, everything's going well.
I'm right here. Tua, how are you, man? I was just going to ask the contact question. I guess what's your approach going into this season? We don't know how many games there are going to be, that will actually be played. How would you feel if you were ultimately unable to play the season, whether it's COVID related or, Flo wants to go with Fitzpatrick or Rosen?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think our coaches, I think they're gonna put the best 11 out there. Whether I'm in that lineup or not, I think they've done enough evaluation throughout the week, throughout the month and lead up to that game. So, in that regards, I know they're going to put the best out there. But to say if we didn't have a season, I mean, I don't think it would just be me that would be bummed. I think our whole team would be bummed, and other teams as well, that we don't get an opportunity to play. This is something a lot of people work for, and I mean, it's our job for sure. But it's also been a dream for a lot of us to get an opportunity like this, and for a lot of the undrafted guys to get an opportunity. That's going to mean something to them as well.
Hey, Tua, I'm curious. You were asked earlier a little bit about pressure, and that's something you've dealt with, obviously, in college, being in the spotlight and things. How do you deal with the spotlight now? You know, every Dolphin fan will watch this and say, hey, we can't wait to see Tua on the field playing in that Dolphins uniform. So how do you handle that, the pressure, the expectations that you're the guy for the future?
Yeah, I think the best way to handle it is really not pay attention to it. Kind of, if that makes sense. Not being someone who just says, oh, I don't like it. You know, I don't care about it. I understand that it's there, but I just feel like the main focus is just being able to get into my playbook, being able to, you know, like I said, build relationships with the guys on the team and just focus on what we got to do inside of the building. I mean, just like almost every athlete has said, you know, fans are good and fans can be issues as well. You know, so when we're doing good, we're all we got as a team. You know, the fans are going to say whatever, that's all that outside noise. And really, we just got to pay attention to what we're trying to do and accomplish as a team, you know, here in the Dolphins organization.
Hey, Tua, I really appreciate you doing this and love getting a little glimpse of your personality. I'm kind of curious if you've really been able to grasp how different the NFL is from college football without having a preseason, without having a full training camp. Is there kind of anyone that's designated to like teaching you the rules or figuring out kind of, hey, here's how we manage the clock here, or hey, here's how we do certain things to kind of get you adapted without seeing a real game yet?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Yeah, it's definitely going to be different not having a preseason game. Not to say we had one in college, but you know, college is a lot different. We have school involved. There's just a lot of other things involved with that. But with the NFL not having preseasons and understanding game management in a real live scenario, you know, what to do end of game, end of half and whatnot. You know, how we do that here is Flow gives us kind of daily situational awareness football during our team meetings. So we probably go over about 3 or 4 things as a team, how we want to go about running the clock out in this situation, how we want to do things in this situation. And that's really how we go about doing that. And then we would walk through it on the field and do things like that. So yeah, that's how we're going about that.